Teeny Gamer here, and here we are with the mandatory 3.7 Spiral Abyss commentary. And oh boy, I have a lot to say about the Spiral Abyss, especially floor 12. But for floor 11, not really so much. So I am just going to be prepping up for floor 12, or talking about floor 12 as I go along of this floor 11 video that is playing right now. So yeah, well, I of course am going to be explaining floor 11 for those people who cannot beat this floor or need some insight on it. Of course, I mean, there's some people who cannot beat floor 12 or floor 11, especially floor 12, but for floor 11, might be some people out there who are struggling, so I'm your guy. I'm there for you, man. So yeah. Well, anyways, here is floor 11, chamber 1. So, chamber 1, it is a monolith floor. Or chamber, my bad. It is a monolith chamber. So, you already know how monolith chambers go. You basically have to defend the monolith, and that is basically it. So, you just have to get it at 60 HP, basically. So, it's not really that bad. You get unlimited time, by the way, so take your time. That is all I am gonna say about this chamber in particular. Take your time. Take your time. Take as much time as you need. You can de-aggro enemies too. There are some certain enemies that aggro towards the monolith, but you could de-aggro them by hitting them and then basically luring them out. But I do not do that because I am overpowered enough to take them down without really letting them deal that much damage to the monolith. But yeah. Well, as always for each of these monolith floors, since there are a bunch of enemies or group of enemies, characters that can basically immobilize the enemies or can round them up are pretty good. So basically, animal supports like Venti, Kazuha, Sucrose, etc. People who can gather enemies up or can taunt them. Basically, Ganyu or Amber are really fine since they aggro enemies towards the other things instead of the monolith. Keeping the enemies away from the monolith is pretty good. You can also bring characters like Zhongli, or you can bring a freeze team so that you can freeze the enemies in place so that they don't attack the monolith either. So that also works too. But other than that, it's basically just your typical monolith floor. Just bring a good team to deal with this and you should be fine. Bringing a DPS team that could basically one-shot everything also works too, since if they're dead, they can't attack. So yeah. Yeah, you could either bring an animal support, characters that can immobilize other enemies, or you could bring a DPS team, which is what I did too. For the second half, I just brought a freeze team, and then for the first half, I just did the Hu Tao double hydro, just to deal with these enemies a lot faster. But as always with each monolith floor, you could always take your time. Take your time. Take as much time as you need, actually. The clock is nowhere to be found, so as long as you can protect the monolith to being under 60, you should be fine. Anyways, on to Chamber 2. Now, Chamber 2 is not really that difficult either. The first half is just this Thunder Herald. Again, you just need to bring a DPS team and you should be fine. Specifically, teams that could deal elemental damage against electro shields. So basically Pyro, Cryo, Hydro works well too, but mainly the element you want to be going for is Cryo. But I brought Pyro because, well, the Heralds are pretty much weak. As you can see there, I just killed them in like 30 seconds. Not really that bad to deal with. And then the second half is just funguses. Not really that intimidating. I mean, you just bring animal support, you could bring anything else really, just bring a good team, you should be fine on this floor. I mean, usually floor 11s are pretty easy if you have a decently built team. In stock, it's just that floor 12 is the main reason why you should do maxing, basically. Overpowering your characters to the max, basically giving them everything that they could possibly ever want. So yeah. The last two enemies here, besides the funguses, are the Eremite enemies, basically the Eremite girls. They're not really that bad either. All you have to do is just destroy their companions that they summon. Once you destroy them, they basically become weak, and then you can just deal a bunch of damage to them. As you can see there, they're almost about to be finished right there. There we go, easy. Yeah, not really that bad. Again, bring a DPS team, you should be fine. There's nothing really for me to say anymore. I mean, yeah. Oh, on to Chamber 3. Chamber 3 is not really that bad either, because all you have to deal with is just a bunch of big enemies, and that's pretty much it. Again, DPS. Just bring DPS team, bring a really good comp, you should be fine. I mean, first half is literally just the Hydro, the Hydro Mage, and then the Aeon Blight. Yeah, it shouldn't be that bad. And the second half over here is just Abyss Mages. Nothing really that special either. Just bring elements that could deal with their shields and you should be fine. Again, DPS team works well. I just brought the freeze team again just to destroy these shields really fast since there is no cryo shield to deal with. There's also heralds as well you have to deal with. Not really that bad either since they don't do that much. And their health pool is low since it is floor 11. But the mainly you want to watch out for is just their spinny attack. Basically just their Beyblade move that they always do. But if you could freeze them in place, they can't move at all, which means that you just get free hits off of them, which is what I'm doing right here with Ayaka. Yeah, just freeze them in place. They should not move at all. As you can see here, the Abyss Herald was trying to Beyblade me, but well, there you go. They're stuck in place. Ayaka just literally melts their shields right here. As you can see, there goes all his shields. All his shields are just basically gone. And then now I have one more herald to deal with. Shouldn't be that bad either. Yeah. These floors are just extremely easy. So yeah. Well, anyways, that is it for floor 11. I mean, pretty easy right there. Just finished it off right there. Yep. Anyways, I'm going to be transitioning to floor 12, so I will be right back. Alright, so here we are in floor 12. So in floor 12, this is where I'm going to be talking the most. I don't even need to talk about the teams I use. I use Kazuha National since he is extremely good at destroying shields. And then I use the Raiden Hyper Bloom team. It's the first team you'll ever see that I actually run a Hyper Bloom team on the Abyss. But yeah. Anyways, I'm just deciding like what to do on this floor. Basically that's why I've been sitting there. But anyways, here we go. This is floor 12, chamber 1. This is absolute torture. I recommend bringing an animal character on the first chamber, specifically the first chamber alone, because you have to deal with a lot, and I repeat, a lot of Whopper Flowers. And you have to deal with the robots, aka the robots that you can only use electro damage on. So yeah, Whopper Flowers and the robots, you already know how annoying those things are. So there's nothing for me to really say, but if you do not know, the Whopper Flowers go underground, meaning that you have to deal with them individually, basically, if they do not group up, which is pretty bad. Which is why I bring in animal support. Also, with an animal support, like Venti, basically they do not bury underground that often. Because if they bury underground, it's basically wasting precious, and I mean precious seconds on this Abyss. So yeah, if you want the 3-star clear, bring in animal support, you'll thank me later. But yeah, Hyper Bloom just basically kills everything in sight. I mean, look at this, it's just destroying everything right there. Bam! Done and done. But yeah. Hyper Bloom, I recommend on the first chamber. Anyways, here's the second chamber. So, this is the chamber that is going to give everyone a hard time, because this is literally just torture. Absolute torture. This is literally the reason why this is the hardest Spiral Abyss in the entire game, as of recording and as of this version update. Yeah, this is literally the hardest Abyss because of this very specific second half chamber. Yeah, it's really, really bad. So, the main strat is to deal with the Abyss Mages first, obviously to get rid of their shields and then destroy them as quickly as possible so you can get to this nightmare of a part. So you have to deal with 2 Frost Heralds and 1 Hydro Herald. That combination alone will scare you because, if you could see right there, Hydro plus Cryo equals Freeze. Freeze is really annoying if it is landed on you because you have to mash space in order to get out, as you can see there. So you have to not only take their health to low enough so that they could activate their second phase, but you also have to take down their shields. So guess what that means? You have to bring double pyro on this. Yes, double pyro. You could bring a cryo if you really want to deal with the herald or the hydro herald, but you have to bring double pyro to deal with the 2 cryo heralds. They are really, really annoying. It's also the reason why I use Kazuha, because Kazuha's swirl basically deals with their shields right there. Yep. And I basically paused here because I couldn't believe I actually beat that chamber. Because that chamber was really hard. It literally took me 2 hours. I am not joking. It took me 2 hours to figure out how to get 3-star clear on that floor. Or on that chamber specifically. And it's really, really terrible. But yeah. My advice for that is just bring a Animo with 2 Pyros and a Hydro. And you should be fine. Well, anyways. On to the chamber 2. First half. Which is the Jade Bloom Terrace Room. So, it's not really that bad. If you already know how to deal with the Jade Bloom Terrace Room, you should be fine. So, there's either 2 ways of dealing this. One is doing electro damage so it goes into its Fury state. And then after it goes to its Fury state, it's just going to be doing a big attack. Avoid the big attack, and then it basically flails around and just plops on the floor, as you can see there. Taking increased damage and basically letting you wail on it. There you go. There's the half of Terrace Room's health right there. Or you could use the Pyro method where you use Pyro and it basically does nothing. It doesn't do its big attacks. But I recommend the Electro method because once it does its big attack, it basically just plops on the ground, basically giving you free damage, uninterrupted, by the way. So yeah, that's how you deal with the Jade Bloom Terrace Room. Just bring Electro and you should be fine. And then the second half is Thundering Manifestation, which is basically the same thing that you have been fighting this entire time. So how to deal with Thundering Manifestation? Just bring anything but Electro, and you should be fine. Yep, that's literally it. Just bring anything but Electro. Avoid its attacks. Avoid its Electro Wall. Avoid its weird Prism thingy. And watch out for all of its Electro attacks, and you should be fine. Yeah, it's literally the Thundering Manifestation. There's still really nothing to be said. If you fought this in the overworld, you should be fine here too. The only bad thing about it is that it just has more health, and that's basically it. Yeah, it's nothing really that special, really. Yeah, there's really nothing for me to say on this chamber. It's literally easier than Chamber 1. Yeah, surprisingly, it's easier than Chamber 1. But the next upcoming chamber is probably hard too. It is harder, if not... it's harder than the first chamber, if not on par with the first chamber. As the hardest chamber in Spiral Abyss. And you'll see why in a moment as soon as I beat the Thundering Manifestation. But yeah, Floor 12 is just really interesting for 3.7 because it's just so hard. It's literally a big difficulty spike. I pray for you free-to-play players, man. Just good luck, man. Good luck, good luck. Good luck. I wish you all the best of luck on this. I hope RNG literally gives you everything you want in this Abyss. I just hope that you get the 3-star clear. That's all I am asking. Just get the 3-star clear and you should be fine. The bad thing is you probably have to deal with this twice because this is basically going to come out again as soon as Spiral Abyss resets. So yeah. Well, there is Thundering Manifestation and there is Chamber 2. So here is Chamber 3, which is honestly on par with Chamber 1 as the hardest chamber in this game. So the first thing you have to deal with is these things, the beasts. The beasts are really annoying because they attack a lot. So once you get them to a certain amount of HP, they spawn a sigil. Destroy that sigil immediately. Once it gets destroyed, they're basically wide open and take increased damage. So once you do that, it's basically easy pickings. The bad thing about it is that you have to deal with two of them at the same time. So yeah, it's really bad, and you have to fight them twice. Yeah, there's 4 of these things. So yeah, good luck, man. And also, bring a healer. You'll thank me later because these guys do a ton of damage, and they have super armor. So good luck trying to stagger them. Yeah, and also you have to dodge a lot, or else you will get staggered on your attacks as well. So yeah, just do not give these guys an opening at all. Attack, 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 because they will attack you first. So yeah. Anyways, the Hyper Bloom team is just extremely good here. I mean, look at this. It basically homes in on enemies. The Hyper Bloom elemental reaction. It basically does so much damage. Bloom is just extremely good. I mean, 3.0, Bloom is just the most broken thing in the world. It is literally the most broken thing in the world. I'm pretty sure in 1.0, it was Hu Tao who was the most broken thing in the world. In 2.0, it's Raiden. And then in 3.0, it's the Bloom. Yeah, Bloom is the most broken thing in the world, yeah. So yeah, it is really weird how the meta has changed, but Bloom is just extremely good. Dendro in general is just extremely good. So yeah. Anyways, here is Chamber 3, second half. So, it is just the Baptist. If you have fought this thing in the overworld, it's a bit different here because instead of using like a plethora of elements, it uses 3 specific ones. So it uses Hydro, Cryo, and Pyro, yeah. Those specifically. So it always goes in a set order. As you can see there, it goes to Cryo, and then to Hydro, and then to Pyro, as you can see there. Just repeat the same thing over and over again, and you should get him down easily. Every time he gets knocked down and you basically destroy his shield, he basically just fumbles over, and then you get a chance to attack him. Once he's done with all 3 cycles of his shield, he'll basically go down in a longer period of time, which basically gives you a chance to wail on him, as you can see there. Just destroy his shields. Use swirl reactions to deal more damage to his shields. You should be fine, really. I mean, it's just destroy the shields, do big damage on him, and hopefully you can kill him in time. So yeah, not really that bad. But anyways, that is it for floor 12. I would say the Chamber 1 is extremely hard. Good luck to everyone who is doing Chamber 1. And, well, anyways, I did pre-record the outro segment, so I am just gonna be cutting to that. So, oh, here's the cut. Anyways, like the video if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I upload Genshin videos once a week, so if you do like that sort of content, be sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to not miss out on a single Genshin upload. Also, comment down below, what do you think of Spiral Abyss 3.7? You think it's hard? You think it's easy? You think my points and tips help out? Let me know in the comments down below. And as always, thank you guys for watching this Genshin commentary video. And I'll see you guys in the next Genshin video.